We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Tuesday, February 25th here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and welcome to News Generation. Joining us this Tuesday is Kwon Ju-yeon.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. And Im Sang-yeon.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. So, like usual, we're going to begin with our keyword news. Our keyword for this Tuesday is flower. Spring flowers are expected to bloom later than usual this year here in the country. According to the Korea Forest Service on Monday, the delay is due to colder than average winter temperatures. While last year's winter's average temperature from December to February was 0.7 degrees Celsius, consistent with previous years, this winter saw a drop to minus 1.8 degrees Celsius. And as a result, cherry blossoms and other spring flowers are expected to begin blooming in mid-March, starting from Jeju Island in the south. And the bloom will gradually spread across the country, reaching full bloom nationwide between late March and early April, which is about 3 weeks later than last year. So, are you planning to go and enjoy some spring flowers this year? Any favorite spots that you'd like to recommend to our viewers?
Maybe or maybe not, depending on whether I'm in a relationship in the future. But actually I'm probably gonna visit and sightsee the flowers because it would be quite sad if I miss this once in a year event. So there are many sightseeing spots in Seoul where you can enjoy cherry blossom trees, but most of those places are crowded with people. So today I'm going to introduce some spots that is less crowded with people so that you can enjoy the blossoms peacefully. First is Yangjaecheon or Yangjae stream. I'm not recommending this just because I live near there, but actually it's less crowded compared to other parks that are located in Han River or Seokchon Lake Park. So because there are less people, you can enjoy the blossoms on your own, and if you go there at night, you can take beautiful photos under cherry blossom trees. And second is Umyeonsan Mountain, which is right across our studio. And because it's located at the outskirts of Seoul, there are less people, and if you go there during spring season, you can see beautiful flowers bloomed on trees.
Well, thank you for those great recommendations. So write them down, Yangjaecheon Stream as well as Umyeonsan Mountain. They're all here at Seocheogu District. Now, I want to ask the same question to you, Jian.
Yes, definitely I will visit one of the places. Well, I highly recommend you to visit Seoul National University, which is located in Gwanakgo area. Well, this place, the cherry blossoms are simply stunning. Well, if you visit this place, the atmosphere is absolutely magical, and the pink flowers against the backdrop of the mountains are truly breathtaking during the spring period. So the area is perfect for a peaceful walk. And FYI, after a long walk, you've got to, put something in your belly. So at the university, you can enjoy a budget-friendly meal in the student cafeteria. And moreover, Gwanak Mountain is located right next to the Seoul National University's school's entrance. So if you visit these two places at the same time, they offer a magnificent view of that blends the campus charm with nature's splendor. And above all, the cherry blossom display right outside my apartment block, apartment complex is second to none. So, it's like having a private viewing of the season's best flowers every year without crowded visitors.
So this time of the year is like the blessing of Mother Earth. And if you also have time to visit Korea during the flower season, there are also a lot of flower festivals going on. For example, the Yeouido Cherry Blossom Festival and the Jinhae Gunangje Festival, which will take place in Gyeongsangnam Province in the south. And that was our keyword news for this Tuesday. Moving on, Tuesday means it's time to explore the latest trends on Korea's cultural front. Take a look at the screen to find out more. We live in an era where nearly everything has gone digital. This has naturally extended to the way we write, with most of us now more accustomed to tapping away on our keyboards or screens than putting pen to paper. But interestingly, handwriting is making a comeback. Right, so what was once considered old-fashioned has now turned to something that's considered stylish and a creative way to express yourself, which is, once again, handwriting. So we want to start off by discussion. I want to ask our panelists, do you find yourself still handwriting often?
Yes, I do write every day by hand. I jot down handwritten feedback in my child's kindergarten diary every single morning. And every morning I craft a to-do list by hand.
Wow.
What I have to do in the early morning, and this allows me to neatly cross off tasks that I completed each day, every single day. And I even prepare a handwritten checklist when packing for trips. So there's something about writing by hand that makes me feel that I'm really working, that I have really accomplished something for the day.
One compared to typing on your
correct.
screen. I see. Then what about you, Sang-yeol?
Well, on special anniversaries or birthdays, I usually give handwritten letters
really? Wow.
to people. I think those gifts are more meaningful and give stronger impression than the ones that you can just buy with money. And also, when I was in elementary school, I participated in the handwriting contest.
Is this what you've
Yes,
written before?
actually,
Wow.
that's the one you can see here on the screen. Those are the writings that I wrote when I was in elementary school. And actually, I won the prize there. It's quite embarrassing to say this, but I'm quite good at handwriting. So
We can tell.
Yeah, and I still, even up to today, I enjoy writing with my hands.
Wow, very, very impressive. And going back, last year on NewsGen, we talked about the rising Texthip trend where more young people are rediscovering the joy of reading books rather than watching TV or streaming content. And now we're seeing a growing love for handwriting, which is being called writinghip online. So Jian, for those who are unfamiliar with this term, could you please walk us through what this trend is all about?
Of course, well, last year we talked about Texthip, but now we have this writinghip. Writinghip is gaining momentum at this moment. Writinghip, it is a combining writing and a compound word of writing and hip. It suggests a stylish, modern approach to writing. And this term refers not only to the act of reading, but also to the tactile experience of hands-on writing. This trend encourages people to write inspiring quotes by hand and keep handwritten journals. And, in other words, more people are choosing to use pen and paper for their activities due to this trend. So this resurgence is also reflected in their shopping habits, with paper goods trending. Well, if you look at the screen, according to South Korea's online select shop 29cm, from the 1st of January to the 12th of February, the sales of stationery and office supplies increased by 75% compared to the previous year. And the sales value of writing instruments such as, fountain pens, ballpoint pens, and also these, pencils grew by 2.4 times, while diaries and planners increased by 64% and notebooks by 43%. In short, handwriting is making a stylish comeback in our life.
Yeah, we can see that from the rise in the online stationery market. We are definitely seeing more stationery enthusiasts. And I even heard that these days stationery tours in Korea are trending, which is inbound tourists or just locals going to stationery stores and browsing through what they could buy, which really shows how big of a trend this has become. So Sang-yeol, I want to ask you, what do you think is fueling this interest towards handwriting, and what do you think is about handwriting that resonates so much with young people?
Yeah, first of all, so these days typing with the keyboard is more prevalent than handwriting. So I think, ironically speaking, handwriting has become something that is considered cool
and
hip among the MZers. And in fact, there are a lot of posts on social media of the users that are taking the photos of their handwritings and posting on Instagrams or Facebooks. And in fact, if you search for the hashtag under the name handwriting on Instagram, you can find more than 3 million posts. And these writings include well-written sentences like calligraphy, or some people upload texts that are written with their unique handwriting skills. And publication companies also hold handwriting contests like the one that I attended when I was in elementary school. And in fact, Kyobo Bookstore held a contest and disclosed the writings of the winners last January. And out of those winners, they launched the handwriting styles that were that were most popular, and they launched it as a digital font.
And we're seeing footage of so many handwriting works here in Korea and in other parts of the world. So for those teenagers and those who are in their 20s who grew up in the digital age, handwriting is, as Sang-Yong mentioned, a very fresh and unique experience. While for those who are in their 30s and 40s, it kind of brings back the nostalgic moment when they practiced handwriting back in school. Because when we were kids, including myself, we all practiced handwriting very hard at home or in school. That's because in Korea, having neat and elegant handwriting has kind of traditionally been seen as a sign of refinement and character. So Jiyeon, I want to ask you, why do you think handwriting has held such a cultural significance here in the country for a long time?
Well, I think it is actually related to our culture and history at the same time. Well, in Korea, handwriting has traditionally held a special significance. In the past, people would even specifically practice writing neatly as part of their character development. Well, back in the days during the Joseon dynasty, there were cases where individuals like Han Seok gained fame and advanced in his career simply because of his exceptional handwriting, earning him the title of Byungpil. And writing with a brush was called 서예, and it was categorized as an art form. Even today, there are so many academies in Korea that teach 서예 to students. And in my case, upon returning to Korea myself, I discovered that Korean schools place great importance on handwriting, so much so that I was provided with a dedicated handwriting notebook. And I also heard that 서예 classes are especially beneficial for those who tend to be easily distracted and need more attention. So I think I was one of them to get more attention. So that's why my mum sent me to one of those 서예 academies.
Because that kind of calms you down while practicing your handwriting.
That's correct.
But what's really interesting is that compared to typing, handwriting takes more time and effort. But despite that, there's something about it that keeps drawing people back, young people, that is, including young people. Now, Sang-Yeok-Chu, our handwriting contest winner.
Okay, thank you.
What do you think are some of the biggest benefits of handwriting that typing can't simply offer?
So people might question the value of handwriting, especially when we're living in the digital era.
Right.
Actually, there are many young people nowadays who seriously have bad handwriting. And when I mean bad, you can't even recognize the words they wrote. So I think this is because many of them are more used to typing with the keyboards. But handwriting has a better learning effect than typing. According to a research team from Norway's University of Science and Technology, handwriting has more sophisticated brain connection patterns than typing on a keyboard. So visual and motion information obtained by precisely controlling the hand when using a pen seems to contribute to brain connection patterns even greater, and it also promotes your learning capabilities.
So it also has a great educational effect as well. So to get a better sense of how big the handwriting trend really is, we also asked our viewers around the world whether they prefer handwriting or typing when taking notes or jotting things down. And we're going to take a look at 3 responses. Our first comment for this Tuesday is by Rex Alex Maston. I prefer taking notes by hand. It helped me a lot with my personal learning experience, and recent research has shown that the act of writing helps with processing information and engagement in learning. Our second comment for this day, Kim Hyuk-jung 06Y. While typing can be more efficient and faster, as a child who spends most of the time studying, I prefer handwriting because digital services aren't always allowed in real tests or exams. Our final comment, Never Ever X7C. I love both worlds, but nothing beats handwriting because it has a very antiquated mystique that people are missing out on these days. We can definitely check out that the handwriting trend is becoming big by taking a look at our viewers' comments. Now, interestingly, another region where handwriting is thriving, not only in Korea, is the Middle East. So after the break, we'll be joined by a young person from the United Arab Emirates to share more insights on today's topic.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Today, we're pleased to be joined by Wasmeya Al-Rashdi, a Gen Z from the United Arab Emirates. Welcome, Wasmeya, to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So, Wasmia, we first would like to ask you, how often do you write things by hand, and is it something you do daily?
Actually, in my early age, as you said, I was writing by hand. As you know, we are as students. But when the technology came, smartphones came, I started writing my diary, my tasks, my goals, and the notebook. However, after time, I lost my touch, my handwriting touch. And I heard the same as the study you said in the Norway, the same study, that when you write by hand, your goals or your daily task, it's more likely to be achievable. Like it's something to do with the brain. After hearing this information, actually, I get back to handwriting again. And thanks God, my touch came back again.
Right. I love your handwriting, by the way. And we've heard that handwriting remains Thank you. It remains, handwriting remains very popular in the Middle East at this very moment. So is that true? And why do you think so many people in your culture still embrace handwriting, even in this digital age?
So there is two types of answer for this question. We are the same as different countries in the world. We are moving to digitalization, you can say. Whenever you go, you don't have to fill any papers. There is always a machine. The younger people also in schools, they start using the tablet or the laptop from the third grade. And in 7th grade, they will fully use the laptop. You can say the early generation, Gen Z, they are more with the technology. The older generation, like me, they are more with handwriting. That's what they used to now. This is the first part. The second part, which is the Arabic calligraphy, as the Korean calligraphy also popular. It's still popular here. People still use it as part of their hobbies, or they want to keep this culture alive. So, yeah.
Okay, Wasmia. Then from your perspective, what is the biggest advantage of handwriting over typing?
From my experience, actually, I prefer handwriting because when you write by hand, you will not use two fingers. You will use almost your full body, your eyes, your brain. You will be more focused while writing. This is one part. The other part, it's more, you can feel close to people. When you receive like letter written by hand, it's more lovely than a normal text. So I think these two main advantages, you can say.
All right, Wasmia, thank you so much for sharing your experience, your insights, and also your beautiful handwriting. Hope you have a happy Tuesday.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, so for handwriting enthusiasts, pens and papers are no longer just writing tools. The texture of the paper and just writing on paper with pen itself is a unique and special experience. So ending off, as you guys are frequent handwriters, are there any aspects of handwriting that you'd like to highlight to our viewers?
Well, prepare pen and pencil paper right now. Well, I do believe that handwriting is often valued because it conveys your emotions and a personal touch.
Right.
And a handwritten note carries a sense of personal touch that digital messages simply can't replicate. They can't deliver that warm strength for that the counterpart. And each handwritten note feels personal and warm. When you read or write by hand, you are more likely to feel a sense of connection with the people, with that person, the writer's feelings. And after all, we are moved by handwritten letters, not emails, aren't we? We cry after reading a letter.
They're very
handwritten
heartwarming.
That's right, yes.
And I think that's the reason why more people are still choosing to write handwritten letters, like Sangyok, for special days like anniversary.
That is correct, and I do that too.
All right, what about you, Sang-yeon?
Well, Wasmia mentioned this briefly in your answers, but I think handwriting also advances your learning ability because you use all your 10 fingers as well as your vision, also your brains. When I was attending interpretation graduate school, I asked my professor, what's the fastest way to boost my English speaking ability? And at the time, she mentioned that if I copy and write the English text with my hand, then it will eventually raise my skills. So I began to write things down that were written by The Economist and New York Times. And in fact, I was able to improve my English speech skills. So also I mentioned earlier that according to the research analysis by the Norway's universities, writing with your hand actually stimulates your brain to achieve more learning capabilities. So although handwriting may be time consuming, I highly recommend that we need to pass down this tradition.
Right, because it also gives us very tangible records to look back on, not only giving us comfort. And if you're interested in Korea's handwriting culture and stationery culture, we have some useful information for you because in early April, COEX in Korea's Gangnam-gu district is actually holding a very big stationery fair where you can browse through all the items that you might need for handwriting. So if you have time, please check it out as well. And that's all we have for NewsGen today, but we will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks to Kwon-jiyeon.
Have a lovely day.
You too. And Im Sang-yeon.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you everyone for watching and hope to see you tomorrow as well. We are
News Generation.